What is up, everybody? I am back with another video today, and today I'm going to be doing a Wargame discussion. So I have done a couple of these in the past, and I wanted to do another one this Wargame season. I told you guys I was going to, and I am going to make this video as short as possible, but it's probably still going to be kind of lengthy, so I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to jump into the Wargame. So first, we're just going to review the popular units, and then compare them to my team, talk about my team composition, and then go through a few of the top players and talk about their teams and stuff like that. I do want to go ahead and say first that I have played a lot of games this season, a lot more than normal. Normally I just kind of grind up slowly, but I figured that this season I would do it, a little faster. Because I'd always kind of been curious about, the benefits of that, what's going on. As far as Iris, I'm going to go ahead and be completely transparent with you guys. There is no benefit as far as Iris of doing that. Especially as fast as I went, definitely not a benefit. But anyway, going on to the popular units. So, get my hair out of my face here. First, popular unit, Honor Succession Bell. So, Honor Succession Bell, really good. Obviously, we've been over this. He's just the best, physical attacker. Probably. One of them, anyway. Artemis. So, I think I said this in my last video. There are a lot of physical teams this season, and Artemis is the reason, for sure. I don't have Artemis yet, and I am running a physical rush team at the moment, but I am planning probably to summon Artemis, so keep an eye out for that video, wink. She's really solid, and she makes physical rush teams really viable. That is why she is number 2. Number 3 is Sparkle Princess Eyes. She is very available. We have seen a lot of her throughout the year, and she was the first banner. A lot of people have her. A lot of people have her max limit broken, and that's why she's number 3 in my opinion. Because Artemis just made her good again. She was never bad, but Artemis made her more viable. All right. So next we have Wintercream Lily. So she's just Artemis except for magic and better, kind of better. She buffs 45% magic, she heals, so she's just a buffer and a healer. Artemis is just a buffer and a debuffer, which is probably better for physical rush teams, but, they're both really good in their own right. So I don't know about better, but definitely the contender there for magic team-wise. Elsa Honor Lafia, magic version of Honor Succession Bell, so if you're running a magic team, you're probably going to be running her. That's pretty standard. Wings of Freedom Aaron. Now, I have said this before, I'll say it again. He's the best free AoE attacker that we have gotten. Besides Hollywreath Chloe, which is the next one, she's actually really, really solid as well. And I'll explain why. But as far as just DPS, Wings of Freedom Aaron is the best AoE physical attacker we have gotten for free. And, he'll probably be seeing play for a long time with free-to-play players. And I've seen, even in top rank this season, as of now, we're only 3 days in, but, or 2 days in, 2 or 3, 2.5. But anyway, yeah, I've been playing against people that have him some still, and so that's pretty crazy. Hollywreath Chloe, I was playing her for a little while yesterday. So there are a lot of physical teams. That is why she is there. That she's a free unit that has, physical resistance buffs, strength debuffs for your opponent, and she's just like Casino Lady Shakti, except free. Maybe a little worse, but free. So she's pretty solid. Black Fist Lenore, she's a physical attacker that a lot of the physical teams are running, and she slows your opponent, and I think she might have a speed boost. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Go check her out, you guys. She is pretty good, though. She is good. Oriental Attire Finn, he is the new debuffer. He's free. He has the 25% strength and magic debuff. So he's, probably the best free debuffer. Well, only free debuffer we've had besides, Chloe, but she's just for physical. So the only free, strength and magic debuffer that we've seen. So he is really good. So, if you don't have a debuffer already, he is pretty good. Then Pretty Lady Ryu. Pretty Lady Ryu is the new unit. That slot used to pretty much just be reserved for Summer Eyes, and this is Summer Eyes, literally. I went over that in my unit review video, and this is literally just summarized, except reskinned and with a slightly different skill one. Skill one, I don't know. One of the skills is slightly different, and slightly better, just not better for me. It's not relevant for me. So she's cool. But I don't need her, and if you guys have Summarize, like I said, you don't need her. But that's pretty much how that is. I'd say Summarize is tied with her. I don't know where Summarize is on the list, but I've seen a lot of Summarize as well, and I'd say that she's definitely up there. But that is it for the adventures. Let's go to the assists. We have Chloe. Obviously, there's a lot of physical teams. Chloe is obviously going to be the number one. We have Ceremonial Flame Hestia. That kind of surprises me. It kind of doesn't surprise me, though. I thought Sacred Fire Hestia would be number two, obviously, especially since there's so many physical rush teams this season. But Ceremonial Flame Hestia makes sense because there are so much taunt. There's so much taunt. There's so much stun. There's so much seal. Like, there's so much stuff that's just going to... I've been being put to sleep by something a lot lately, too. It's just one of those things, like, you need her. You don't realize that you need her, but you do. I have been... I went a lot of the Wargame without her, and I kept losing to the leader of my familia using taunt. And I was just like, if I could stop the taunt, I would win. And so I put her on, and then I'm pretty consistently winning that now. So a lot more so than before, at least. So I would recommend that, at least. Anyway. Then Sacred Fire Hestia, obviously, physical rush teams. Minstrel Elf Aina, whatever. Magic team. They're still really good magic teams, and she's still really viable. Clumsy Detective Anya, physical rush teams. Kunoichi Goddess Hestia, physical rush teams with that little bit of heal, and physical rush teams do need her because the heal from her is really good. Like, we can do without the heal, but it's a lot better if we have the heal. Like 10% strength and 15% heal is really, really good. Uncontrollable Titan Aaron, just Anya, except with stun. I like him better, to be honest. So yeah. Princess Hime, for like magic rush teams, which is pretty much what magic teams are, but I don't really want to call them rush because they run healers, 1 to 2 healers, most of them anyway. But they are kind of that because the healer is also a buffer. So that's for that, and the stun, obviously. Part-time Goddess Hestia, Kunoichi Goddess Hestia, if you don't have her, pretty much. She just does the strength boost. And then Reindeer Goddess Hestia, which does the double magic boost, the magic boost, fire boost, and wind boost. So for all your magic team needs. So that's the reasoning behind these. If you guys are running one of those specific kinds of teams, that is probably what you're going to need to use on those teams, like the assists that you're going to need to use. So I'm going to go ahead and check out my team. So here's my team. I've had a lot of variations of this team, but this one seems to be doing me the best right now. And I'll explain to you guys why I think that is, and what I'm going to do to make it better. So we have Eyes here. So I have her set on debuff. So she's going to take minus 15% physical resist on your opponent. That's going to be her debuff, which is going to be really good. And, she also has the debuff to debuff strength buffs. So all the physical rush teams this season, she's really good because she's going to do lower their physical resist, and then she's going to take off their strength buffs. And without their strength buffs, they're doing significantly less damage, and I really like that's exactly what I like to see. So she's really good, and especially for physical rush teams, like I said, she has that 15% damage physical resist reduction. Next we have Bell. So Honor Succession Bell, like I said, he buffs himself. He hits really hard. He's good. Next we have Levi. So Levi is probably who I'm going to replace with the Artemis. Gosh dang, I'm sorry guys. Artemis. I'm going to replace him with Artemis more than likely. I really do like him, but he takes a little while to charge. He is really fast. He's I guess the second fastest character in the game now, I think still. He's extremely fast, so he's always going to hit first, more or less. But he does take 2 turns to charge, which isn't really a problem. But I don't know. It's just, I feel like he's the weak link. here. So I have the debuff for next, and Anakitty's just here for debuff, and I feel like with a physical rush team, she's going to get more out of it than Levi is, because Levi, the boost from Artemis is not going to affect him when it is going to affect Anakitty, and Anakitty's still going to debuff, and Levi's just not going to benefit from it. So I do think that I'm going to take him out, or maybe put him in place of Sparkle Princess Eyes when I get Artemis, but I'm not 100% sure about that, so we'll kind of see. Then I'll obviously have Anakitty. I already explained she is the debuffer, physical attack debuffer. Then Lily. So the theory is, once one of my physical attackers die, the rest will probably be low-ish health, and then Lily will come in and heal them, and she does the really big heal, and then the extra 35% regen or something like that at the end, and it's really good. That's a lot of health. So if they do survive that turn, they're gonna get a lot of health back, which is really good. And then we have Eyes. She's just kind of to tank some damage. They both rotate in with the magic and physical cancelers, and Eyes just to tank some damage and deal some damage. And she doesn't have to charge. She just comes in and hits hard. So that's what she's for. Like I said, I might replace her with Levi. I'll kind of test both ways and see which one I like better. Next, I have Sacred Fire Hestia. So Sacred Fire Hestia, I have had +4 for a while, and now I have her +5. I actually got her +5 in my summon video that I recorded last night, which I have not put up yet. That'll be going up tomorrow. So check that out. I actually almost died when I pulled her, so spoiler. But anyway, she's just for the extra, damage boost. This is a physical rush team, so she's there to do damage and speed boost. So, physical rush teams want to go first. So yeah, obviously, that's what she's for. Kunichigata's Hestia, like I said before, she's there to heal. She's there for a strength buff. I want to do as much damage as possible, as fast as possible, and the heal is good as well because it'll help me, tank a little bit more damage. Next, I have, I don't remember her name. Summer Hestia, that's what I always call her. Summer Goddess Hestia. Alright, so Summer Goddess Hestia is really good. Alright, she has 10% critical and 90% chance to slow. So if your opponent isn't using Ceremonial Flame Hestia, to stop it, they pretty much just, I'm not going to say they lose automatically, but they're at a huge disadvantage, which is great. I mean, you don't by any means have to play this character, but it's one of those things that it's 50-50, whether they run Ceremonial Flame Hestia or not, the 50% of the time you're at a huge advantage. And I think that, I just really want to capitalize on that. And she has a huge strength or speed stat as well, which really caters to Levi being the fastest unit in the game, or second fastest, my bad. And his agility is up at 1524 right now. So, really solid. Next, we have Ceremonial Flame Hestia. I already covered that. It's there to stop taunt, it's there to stop seal, it's there to stop stun, just whatever ailment. Mostly those three. If it stops poison, that's cool, I guess, but it's poison. It's not that important. Not as important as the other three. Next, we just have the magic and physical blockers, I guess. And I'm not a huge fan of these in the back line, but it is what it is. You need everything else in the front line, and they're fine in the back line. So pretty much when these characters rotate in, they're just gonna block the first magic attacks, block the first physical attacks, and that's pretty solid for sure. That's pretty much my team, though. I do enjoy this team. I like I said, I was trying Holly Wraith Chloe. I was trying, the double healer team there for a while. I may have that one saved here. I don't. I was trying this Anya for a while. The Anya is cool. I was also, most of the season, I was playing Asfi, Almighty Fighter Asfi, in place of Summer Princess Eyes. And that was more or less my team. And, most of the season I also didn't have Ceremonial Flame or Sacred Fire Hestia maxed, which I do now, which is awesome. But, I felt that this Physical Rush was the better call, just because I deal a lot more damage, and I felt like I was dying regardless of if I had a healer or not. And I had Asfi buffing, but regardless of her buff and regardless of her heal, which doesn't do a lot of heal, I was dying anyway and just doing less damage than I felt comfortable with. And so I figured that I might as well try to just output as much damage as possible if I'm going to die anyway. And that's what I did, and it's kind of working at the moment. I'll keep you guys updated in my videos to come this week on how that is going, after now. So I'm just going to go over a few of the players here. I'm going to fight a couple of people that are in my Familia, actually, just because I've played against them a lot. I kind of know their teams, and I kind of want to just show you guys, how different teams kind of fare in this meta. So Onsen is always top, so we're going to look at his team. Onsen yesterday last night he was memeing, all right? So he had a complete team of Ryus. And I played, so I got paired against Onsen, and I saw it was Onsen, and I was like, crap, I'm going to lose. Because I'd played against him a couple of times before that this season, and he always just smacked me. And then he was just playing a complete team of Ryus, and I just crushed him, and it was great. I loved it. It just made my night, I think. But shout out to Onsen for that. You made my night, bro. But anyway, so we have the Physical Rush Artemis team, like I was talking about before. His is probably better than mine, in theory. So he has Artemis, Ryu, which is like Summer Princess Eyes, which he also has on his team. But Artemis, Ryu, Lenore, which is going to slow. So that, in theory, is kind of like my Summer Goddess Hestia. And then Tione, I'm not sure what she does. I know she does lightning damage, but other than that, I'm not 100% sure about that. If I remember, I'll check her out at the end of the video. I probably won't remember, though. I never do. Then we have Sacred Fire Hestia for output of damage. Ceremonial Flame Hestia, which is maxed unlike mine, which, like I said, just to stop those ailments. So he is actually playing Chloe up front, which I like. I was doing that a lot of the season myself, but I'm not anymore. But he actually is, so that's awesome. And then Kunoichi got his Hestia, so like I said, she's really, really good for physical teams. Blue Rose Hephaestus, I think. She's good. She does, I think, a physical resist reduction and a something. She does something. And then Aina at the back on Summer Princess Eyes. So pretty much, and then he has Belle and Summer Princess Eyes in the back. Pretty much just what I was talking about, dealing as much damage as possible, except he actually doesn't have a healer at all. So my theory, that I am practicing right now, he's not doing. But this is still a really good team. I really like it. I do like the Ryu and the Eyes. I guess after Ryu dies, Eyes will come in and then debuff them again, after it wears off. And I like that every character on his team capitalizes off of Artemis, except for, obviously, Belle. But every other character, gets that buff. And I do like the buff from Artemis. Let me explain. Because she will buff first, and everyone will get the damage boost. Whereas, with, boost characters like, say, Levi, he has to wait. So, he does a low physical attack and gets the boost. And then next turn, he'll do another attack that's boosted. But, with Artemis, everyone's boosted first turn, and you start outputting damage faster. And that's why I like her, I think. And I think that's why a lot of people like her, and a lot of people are using her. So that's Unsen's team. Unsen's team is really good. His team just kind of, smacks a lot of people. So Random Assassin is someone that I wanted to show. He is in my Familia. He is really good. His team is really good. And it's something, while we were grinding up the ranks, he kept beating me. I could not beat him. And I finally beat him. I've beat him a couple of times now, but at first, could not beat him at all. And I'll trial battle him, and I probably will not beat him. But he is not playing Kunoichi Goddess Hestia. He's playing the other Hestia that does the same with no heal. Blue Rose Hephaestus again. I don't know, that Hestia, whose name just blanked in my mind. Chloe, not Max Chloe, so that's cool. Sacred Fire Hestia, that's Ceremonial Flame Hestia. Sacred Fire Hestia back here, and then Belle, which is interesting. Zombie Belle, interesting choice. And then, Belle, Lenore, Tiona. This Tiona is insane. So let me take a minute and explain a team build. Actually, I'll show you guys. The next person will have this team build. Tiona, Anakitty. He's playing Anakitty too, which is interesting because not a lot of us are. A few of us in top are actually, but it's definitely not like one of the most used characters. Then Lily, he's doing what I'm doing actually. And then AOT Eyes, which I would actually be playing if I had. I have her +3, but I'm gonna play against him, and I'll try to keep the video like under 25 minutes. So I know that's still a long time, but there's a lot of info that I want to like convey in this video, so I guess it's necessary to be long. So yeah, I'll attack him a couple of times, and then she buffs, and just like his resist is crazy to all my attacks, and he's just gonna do mad damage. He would like this team with Artemis would just be insane, in my opinion. So, yeah, he has me down to 3 characters. I do have the healer, though, so my healer is going to give me a little edge on that. He has a healer as well, though. Alright, killing Belle. So he's going to heal. Like I said, like it's just crazy. He also has the buffer, and like the buffer plus the heal is just wild. So, like, at this point, I just have to hope that I can hit harder than him, which I probably can't because he has all of the, buffs. And that's really the good thing about his team, I think, is he has so many buffs from Tiona. Tiona's just such a good character, to be honest. Yeah, so there's that. Eyes is the only one left. She's going to attack. And I'm going to do the special art. She's going to kill me, and that's pretty much going to be it. So I could stun everybody. That would be cool. Stunned everybody. What? I still lose though. It's fine. That's crazy. All right. Still, I'm happy that I stunned everybody. But yeah, so his team's really strong. That's kind of a team build that I like. I'll play against Unsinge as well because I did go over his team but didn't actually trial battle against him. I'll show myself getting stomped by him as well. There are a few of the top players that I just cannot beat, and Unsinge is one of them. Random Assassin is also one of them. I have beaten him a couple of times though, so... See, look at that. Look at that. He's just dealing such massive damage. It's crazy, man. Also, another thing that you want to consider is CP leveling. Like, I know Unsinge undoubtedly has his CP completely maxed on all of his characters, and it does stack depending on, if you have, like, Eyes and Belle's CP maxed, their effects are going to stack. And, if you have Eyes, Belle, and Lefia's all maxed, they're all going to stack. So you definitely want to do that. I've been working on doing that, and I have, quite a bit of them. I'm going to go down here to Vado. Vado, still in King 1. Man, what up? He hasn't been playing a lot this season, actually. So this is the team comp that I was talking about. We have Belle. I'll review his team, then I'll tell you about the team comp. We have Belle. We have Eyes. So she has the damage buff, or the damage resist debuff to your opponent. He has Tiona, Gareth. I wanted Gareth so bad, but I didn't get any. You guys know this. Lafia, and then Levi. So pretty standard. He has one magic attacker, which I don't like because I prefer to keep it physical or magic because of the 2 characters right here that do negate 2 physical attacks, negate 2 magic attacks. I would rather them negate 2 attacks than 4 attacks. In my opinion. And then just Hephaestus, Hestia, Aina, Chloe, Loki, and Hestia. So he is also playing the Hestia. I didn't know that. But, the only thing that we haven't seen here is the Loki, and she's really good. She does critical plus 10% and guard rate, I think, minus 10%, something like that. She's solid. And so the team composition that I was talking about is Tiona and Gareth. Tiona will buff, Gareth will taunt, and then Gareth will just tank everything. And it's so hard. Like, even at +3, Gareth just tanks all of my first turn attacks. All of them. And some of my second turn attacks. And it's just crazy. So with the buff, especially from Tiona, this team composition is insane. Alright, so I was playing against Votto and my phone cut off, so I'm going to go ahead and just go play against him again, and I'll just cut out the old one. But here's what's pretty much going to happen. So it's not going to happen because I have the assist that blocks some stuff, whatever it's called, ailments, that. But pretty much he's going to buff, then he's going to taunt my entire team. My team's going to get destroyed because all I get to attack is Gareth. And that's pretty much what would happen. It's not going to happen this time because, like I said, I put that assist on there so that would not happen. So if you guys want to know the importance of Ceremonial Flame Hestia, there it is, because that turns from like an almost auto loss to what you just saw pretty consistently. And, so there's a few examples there. Shout out to 2-0 in 6th place. I will not be by the end of the season, don't worry, so don't get your hopes. But anyway, that is, I think, where I'm going to cut the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any other questions regarding Wargame strategies, what other kinds of teams I've seen this season, I was actually going to show you guys. There was another team that was actually really popular. Who is it that has this team? Is it him? Yes, this team. So he's a bit under me now. He wasn't before, but this team like auto kills me almost. It's actually insane. So it's pretty much just the Magic Team version of what I'm trying to do. It's just aggressive. We have Eyes over here with her very big damage buff, like huge. Lafia with her damage buff, Lily with hers, and then Ryu to debuff. And this team is insane. Like, then we have the Seal in the back with the other Ryu. And then, the only thing that's kind of interesting to me is Artemis back here. I can't ever remember her name. But Artemis back here, and, she's just kind of chilling. Probably because he doesn't have another magic attacker, or maybe there is a reason that I'm not thinking of at the moment. I don't know. But that's pretty much... This team's really good. And even though, his assists are lower levels, and, one of his adventures is only +2, this team is actually still really good. So this is the kind of Magic team that I really like right now, especially with New Year's Eyes and Lily. That combo is just crazy to me. And then Ryu in there for the debuff. And then just like fill in the blank with the other three, but I think those three are pretty important at the moment. So I definitely recommend checking that out if you guys have, a Magic team or want to build a Magic team. Something like that would be really cool. But other than that, I think I'm done. I'm going to cut the video there, like I said. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found it useful. Like I said before, anything that you have a question about, just leave it in the comments. And I'll definitely be sure to answer those. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.